Today I'm going to be trying out the single Sourdough King from Burger King. It's a 1/4 pound flame grilled beef patty with bacon, cheese, ketchup, and mayonnaise on toasted sourdough slices. So let's have a look at it. Not only have I never had one of these Sourdough Kings before, I know for a fact it's been over 20 years since I've had a hamburger from Burger King. And the reason for that is that I don't really eat out that much. We usually cook at home for the most part. So here's what the Sourdough King looks like. And let me go ahead and put this on a plate and we'll have a closer look. So let's have a look at it. And as I said, it's topped with mayonnaise, ketchup, bacon, and cheese. And I remember the whole flame broiled thing, and from what I remember, it did lend a more unique flavor to their hamburgers that most of the other fast food restaurants didn't have. So it wasn't that I don't like Burger King hamburgers, it's just something that I didn't eat very often. They're using sourdough slices instead of traditional hamburger buns, which I think is very reminiscent of toasted bread, and very lightly toasted at that. As a matter of fact, you can see that this part is very lightly toasted. I don't believe the bottom is toasted at all. And this bottom bun, I'm not sure it's toasted either. At least I can't tell that it is. So it looks like they only toasted the top of the top bun from what I can tell. So the bread slash bun is not really firm, and there does appear to be an adequate amount of bacon on the hamburger, more than some other sandwiches that I've recently reviewed. I do notice that the pieces of bacon are really curled up, which leads me to believe they're deep frying these, because if you've ever deep fried bacon, it curls up into these little pieces like this, as opposed to bacon that they cook on the grill, which generally lay pretty flat. There is a good amount of mayonnaise on the sandwich. There's not too much ketchup, which I'm really quite happy with because I don't like when restaurants overuse ketchup on their sandwiches. With that said, let's go ahead and taste this and see what it tastes like. So here's a view of a cross section of the King sourdough. It does seem to have a good bun to topping ratio, and I could have gotten the double Sourdough King, but I thought that it may have been a little too much meat for this particular bun. There are a couple restaurants where I do opt to get a double patty, and those tend to be the restaurants that have really, really thin meat, like Steak and Shake or maybe Freddy's. But for most places, I tend to go with just the single. I'm gonna go ahead and try this and see what I think. As I remembered, the first thing that came to mind was that great flame broiled taste. And it's definitely a somewhat dominating flavor, although I wouldn't say it's overbearing by any means. I do think that that flame broiled flavor does give Burger King an advantage on their hamburgers. I've never eaten a hamburger from any other fast food restaurant that had that taste. It's not dry, it's adequately topped. It has a great general flavor. The sourdough bun is tending to get smushed a little bit, but because it is kind of a soft bread. I don't know if I have a preference between the sourdough bun or a regular hamburger bun. I do think it's something different and equally as good. I don't know if I would say that it's better. I think that these hamburgers could probably be topped with a lot of different buns and still be equally as good. The sourdough bun by itself does have that typical sourdough flavor, but it's kind of overshadowed by the deep flavor that the hamburger itself offers. I think when you're putting mayonnaise, ketchup, bacon, cheese, and a hamburger patty on the sourdough bun, it kind of drowns out the sourdough flavor. But again, it's not bad, and I could probably eat this hamburger on any bun, and it would be equally as good. I don't think that there is very much that I would change about this particular hamburger. And if you're looking for something a little bit different in their typical offerings, you may really like the sourdough bread instead of the traditional bun. So I think I would give this hamburger a 7 out of 10 because it is a good hamburger, but it's really not anything special. It's typical of Burger King's hamburgers. And this is something that I would probably get again, although it is for a limited time only. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.